welcome to Sunday's show at 1. I just thought I'd get in a bit of music there before I started, and I'd like to welcome you to the show today. I have a few things to go over now. I just thought I'd do it at 1 o'clock today on Sunday, and I have a few things there to go through the Irish Independent news. Girl 16 with special needs was passenger in her parents' car when it was robbed by a criminal and crashed moments later, killing him. And I did my HIA and I passed it. Nice White and David Rennie explained controversial moment they saw him return to the play. Seamus Power just 3 shots off lead in RMH Classic, and it's awesome for him. Andy Farrell hails Ross Brown for winning kick after 21 months. Hear us. So Jack Cronin shows he has class as Ireland end year on a high note. They won there. I was saying there. I was looking at that match there. It was on. It was on a Saturday there. 13-10. I was looking at, and it was a very good match. I enjoyed it. The kick at the end, and everything worked out well. And then, just as RT News reader Eileen Dunn surprises viewers by announcing instant retirement live on air, which was on Friday. It was on before the Late Late Show. I was looking at it there, the news segment there, and then it says Brazil route, England chance, Portugal born out, the Indo World Cup. Hilarious moment BBC Breakfast cut to marathon runner as the worst possible moment. And she makes me feel very proud to be Irish. Eamon Dunphy pays emotional tribute to Vicky Phelan on the Late Late Show there. And he was also talking about the World Cup there, the different things, the corruption that's going on. He was talking there about the World Cup. I was saying there on the thing. So it was pretty good, good stuff, powerful interview. And he does make good podcasts there. I do listen to them myself when I go out. Eamon Dunphy's podcasts. They're very good, and he has on a Monday he has the sports. He talks to Eamon Dunphy, and he talks to Johnny Giles and Liam Brady there every Monday, and talk to preview the matches. And they previewed the World Cup there the other day. I'm not sure now what they said. I don't think any of them went for England anyway. Late-born penalty sees Ireland hold off Australia. Just a little bit about that match there. It just says a memorable year ends with the most forgettable of wins. Uh, it was any danger of Ireland getting complacent. This game has woken them up like a bucket of cold water. The only real positive to speak of was the win. Final score 13-10 didn't look too pretty. It was very evenly. It was 3-0 there at one stage, and it was very good. I don't know, did any see it there? I'm sure you do if you're listening. It was a good match, and then there was Gaelic matches taken. McCud won. They won very well there in the Leinster Club final, in Leinster, and that was good win. I was just looking at that myself, and then the RT News, it just says here, Tánaiste praises Martin, slates Sinn Féin at Ardfresh, and I'm not sure there's any interview there of that. UK pledges 50 million air defence package for Ukraine, and countries considering draft COP27 climate deal. And then the 2012 Pac-Man Award winners have officially been crowned. And beloved panda gifted by China to Taiwan dies. English football fan in court over airport breach. And 4 arrested after gun pipe bomb seized in Belfast. So that's there, more about that. And then as I scroll to the Irish, I think I have the Irish Times open as well. It just says more about the COP27. Let me see how I'm doing with the podcast. I'm good at doing good now at the moment. So it just says deep divisions threaten deal to tackle climate crisis. World's poorest countries denounced rich for delaying actions on refusing financial assistance to those suffering extreme weather conditions. It's the same in Ireland, sure, the way it's gone, flooding and every kind of thing. Declan Kilbert on the first modern song by Bob Dylan, sometimes surprisingly. So Ireland must remain wary of Wallaby challenge. That's just a preview there before the match, as I was saying. I told you the result of the match there, so that's there. And then FIFA's Infantino hits back at Qatar critics. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel like a migrant worker. France suffer huge World Cup blow with Kazim Benzema ruled out through injury. And the World Cup now is starting tomorrow. I think it's starting on Sunday, and it's on at 4 o'clock. The first match, Qatar, Ecuador. So I'm sure you will all be looking at that. And then England, I think, are playing the next day. So it seems I don't think I'll be bothered looking at some of them. I'll look at some of the matches and preview some of them probably. But see, when Ireland isn't in it, it's hard. So, and then the Gaelic games on this, it just says here, Kilmacud Crogs are all business as they keep Portarlington at a safe distance to secure senior football final slot. As I was saying there, I was looking at the score there. The score there was it was 1-12 for 1-12. They won well in the end, so it's locked. They won. They scored 1-12 anyway. That's the score there. So I think I'll go to the Hogan stand there. Let's just see what's on the latest offering there on the Hogan stand. It is the RT News. I was saying I went through all that, so it's taken a while to open the journal. The Hogan stand, it just says Crokes keep Port Arlington at arm's length to book senior football. I was just looking at it because it just says 112-4 in a forgettable affair at Croke Park. So that's the score there. So I was just looking at it. It was on RT2, and Marty Morrissey was presenting it. So, and then in the other match, the Downs hold off Rathout rally to advance to Leinster Senior Football Final. So the score in that was two 2-12 to 17 victory. So that's there. That's that match. So Dublin unveil new GAA jersey there, and that's the latest then on that. And the journal. Let's just go through the journal now. Faraka praises Martin for common sense leadership as Taoiseach in keynote speech there. And Faraka, he has paid tribute to Myanmar, said that he led the country through the pandemic and the war in Ukraine with common sense and decency. Addressing the Fine Gael Ardfresh at the Technology University of Shannon in Athlone this evening, Varadkar and acknowledged that Martin had led the country well during his 2.5 years at Tate. He thanked him for his work during his keynote speech. We've shown that we can work with the Green Party, the Labour Party, and even with historical opponents. Fianna Fáil, we can make a coalition work and we can make it last, Varadkar said. Let's acknowledge tonight that Taoiseach Micheál Martin has a good word to difficult circumstances, including the latest stage of pandemic and war. Varadkar is due to become Taoiseach on the 17th December with a wider cabinet reshuffle expected along the rotation. So that's on that. That's on the journal there about that. And then 40, I don't know, will I go through the 42? There's an article there about we were a pure Catholic nation and anyone who challenged that in any way was punished. The latest episode of Redacted Lives, the journal's new podcast, explores the power nexus between church and state. High Walls examine how so many unmarried mothers and their children were incarcerated in Ireland. Eamon de Valera tried to have the constitution approved by the Pope in 1937. Orla Ryan reports. So And then it just says more about Burns' late penalty sees Ireland scrape past Wallabies in Dublin. Quiz. Do you know these famous bands? Put yourself in the test with our quiz. It says just this question there. And she said, how do two journalists broke the silence around Harvey Weinstein? We speak to the reporters Megan Twohey and Jodie Cantor about a new film about the New York Times reporting. That's the new film there. I think it has a cut of Harvey Weinstein there. So Kieran Goff, global climate action is not just for COP. So that's what it's saying on that. England come back in dramatic fashion to secure draw with All Blacks. So that's there. And Prime Minister Sunak meets Zelensky during first visit to Ukraine. So that's on that. And then let me see how I'm getting on now. I'm getting on good. So Sky News. I'll go to Sky News now just to see the latest here at 1 o'clock. Uh, as I was saying there, it is pretty sophisticated stuff and news. I was just looking at something else earlier on about editing. There's a video there, a good video about how you edit in a film, and it sounds very good. It's on YouTube. Asylum seeking, just what it says there. Asylum seeking staying at Manston Centre dies in hospital. And housing body that ran fast by toddler died of mould as racist former employee claims. And then it says more about the FIFA president who should be apologising for the next 3,000 years. FIFA chief hits out at Qatar criticism. He came out very strongly there. People will be living on the moon within a decade, says NASA. Hunt underway for Odaka after boy stabbed to death at National Reserve. And Elon Musk's change-man strategy does not bode well for Twitter's future. Bansky urges people to shoplift from guests after copyright row. And a 3D printing food sent chatbot, 5 big ideas. So the big tech is there for the future, and there's more about that and Ukraine war. There's videos here on this as well, and then the tech. I just checked the tech now. There, the latest tech on this. Just says about Harry Styles and Oliver Wilde split after nearly 2 years together. And backstage with the menu stars Anya Taylor Joy and Nicholas Hoult on Free Food Film. That's the film about the food. Ralph Fiennes is in it as well. It seems good. Boy George tells Matt Hancock that he really thinks of him during I'm a Celebrity clash. And then Paul Mescal explains role choices. See more about that. Ninglewart, 22, filmmaker on his relief over Oasis song Block and Liam Gallagher's Delicate Side. So that's then all about that. So, and then the world news on this Sky News. Uh, Sunak flies to Ukraine to discuss global security with Zelensky. As I was saying there, the Prime Minister of England there went to see him. And war will be over by summer, Ukraine defense official claims. And countries post to sign off on fund for climate damages at COP27. And walrus appears miles from Arctic habit in North France. So then more about the FIFA president rambling terror was first own goal of the tournament. So it's more about that. So that's mainly everything that's on that. So then the world news. So I just thought now I go back now just to I went through a good bit of news there in this section of the show. I don't know if I've got anything to play you here. I was looking at a thing earlier on there on YouTube. It's about Edison, the power of Edison in a film. I was going to play it, but whether I can look it up now for you. It's very good, interesting stuff about Edison, how they edit in the film. I was just looking at the most edited film, and in a film. As I was saying, I do a lot of work on this myself. As I'm doing a course, I do a lot of work on most editors in films, so it is pretty good. There's little videos here on YouTube, so they're quite interesting to look at. Whether I can get it working now, that's another thing, but it is pretty good stuff. So at the moment now, I'm looking at a film, and it's on RT1, the gangster film, yeah, for gangsters' life. So I was just looking at that, the most edited film. That's the thing I was looking at earlier on. It's the It says about Dunkirk editing, and now this is a look into Hollywood's cutting rooms, and it's Adobe Creative Cloud. I have that on my laptop here, so this is just a little video. So
For me, editing is 50% of direction because I'm recreating it in post, then I'm rewriting it in post.
Technology is great, but I want it to be invisible. I want it to be completely out of my frame of mind so I can focus on story.
Are criminals born? Or are they formed?
These are the kinds of tools that we need to go beyond metaphor and go beyond simile.
The idea that Adobe Premiere was built with filmmakers who are very picky and discerning made me believe that it was going to be a product that was going to have some legs.
As cutting becomes more involved with visual effects, that's become increasingly important that you have platforms like this helping you see the film as you go along.
The integration between After Effects and Premiere works perfectly because by using Dynamic Link, you could send that entire sequence, including effects and masks, into After Effects.
In the past, we've always had visual effects shots done at vendors all around the country. Now we can just pass them on to this guy who's working on a station 50 feet from us. By bringing so much of the post here, it just brings speed and efficiency.
Using Adobe's color correction tools, all color correction for all of our screenings and previews were all done in-house. The power of Premiere is truly mind-blowing for a filmmaker because now you don't have to go anywhere.
You can see that this is a company that has a unique understanding of what it is to be able to offer an end-to-end solution. And if you can put those tools in the hands of people who want to make it happen, it's going to be about the quality of the ideas.
I think that it's an extreme golden time. The editing system doesn't get in your way and allows you to facilitate the vision that you think in your head that you would like to be able to do. And the system says, yeah, I can do that.
So that was just a little video about the editing. As I was saying there, a look into Hollywood's cutting room. Edu Creative Cloud. So
What if you could learn more about filmmaking?
that was that. I have a few other short little things there as well, and I might play them again in my next podcast. But I hope you enjoyed that. And then I was just gonna play a little bit of, if I can play a little bit of musical. I don't know. Maybe I won't today, but I just thought I hope you enjoyed my podcast today. And this is a new show here, Sunday show at 1. I'm hoping now to be back again. So I hope you enjoy my show. And if you want me to chat about anything, I am on Facebook. I am on. You can check me out. And if you want more content on the show or what you want, you can see. And I'm looking for guests as well. So as I said before, the content of the show is important, but I would like to thank all the people that are listening to me. My thing is up a bit, my downloads and my thing. So I'd like to thank everyone. So thanks again, and goodbye. And I hope you enjoyed my show today. And slán that.